So Jennifer and I, we first met in college. So I was a sophomore when she was a freshman. And we were part of the same campus ministry. You know, I was faithfully evangelizing, and all of a sudden one day, this girl shows up and she's in Casa Dance Off. She stayed up until like 3 in the morning. She was involved with like a million things, just even as a freshman. She was hanging out with all the upperclassmen, like all the time, upperclassmen guys, all the time.
Jealous a little?
I just thought she was crazy. But here she was evangelizing, and I was like, this girl is crazy. She needs to sleep. She needs to study. Sorry, Jennifer's mom. No, she needs to study.
My first impression of Josh was, wow, he really is an introvert. I thought he was very, very nice, very sweet, but kind of shy. I distinctly remember an instance, like not too long after we met, where one of my really old friends asked me, he's like, oh, would you ever think about dating someone like Josh? And my immediate response was like, I don't think so. So, as embarrassing as it is, I did like Josh first. I was interested first, definitely. I think it started probably the end of my sophomore year, and I didn't even know I was interested at that time because we were just like really good friends by that point. But someone kind of just asked me out of the blue, like in a car ride one day, saying, oh, who do you like? And his name just like came out. Like I just blurted it out of nowhere. And at that moment, I was so shocked. I was like, oh, I must be interested in him. Like, why is his name in the forefront of my mind? And since then, like even without knowing, I was probably like dropping hints here and there.
Yes. So it took me a long time to figure out that that she had feelings for me. Jennifer got a new car her junior year. No, it doesn't come with a license plate because it's a new car. So eventually, like a few weeks later, the license plate got mailed in, and I don't know if he called me or texted me or whatever, but she like asked me out of the blue, like, hey, I got my license plate in the mail. Can you help me put on my license plate on my car? I'm thinking like, all right, I mean, how hard can it be? Okay, so I came over, and we went to her car, we put on the license plate, right? Really simple. And I was like, all right, I did my good deed for the day. I was a nice guy. And then I left thinking like nothing about it. But, when you think about it, like who needs help putting on a license plate? You just, nah, and then you're done. But I realized, she was like dropping some hints like, hey, I like you. I want to spend some time with you. But it wasn't until I think maybe like another 2 or 3 months after that when one of my good friends, I think you told Andrew, and he was like, dude, Josh, Jennifer likes you. I'm like, no, man, no. But then like once he told me, like everything just kind of clicked into place, like, oh my gosh, she likes me. And I felt my cheeks flush as well. What a perfect There
was this one day where after all these hints were dropped and we were both like kind of confused at what it was, where Josh texted me and said he wanted to talk about something. My friends were telling me, it's like, oh, it's probably gonna be, like that talk, like you guys are in a DTR to find the relationship and see where you guys are. And so I went into that conversation like pretty nervous, and it was like this little bench, like sometime in the evening, and I was like ready and all nervous. But rather than telling me that he liked me, the conversation was like, so, we've been hanging out a lot, and I just want to apologize because I think my actions might have confused you. Like I never meant to lead you on. And I definitely remember going home, telling my roommate at the time like what happened and being so sad. I don't know if I cried, but I might have almost cried. I was really sad.
Apologize. So my intentions, as foolish as I was, it was to kind of clear things up, and like we were good friends, I would say, and I just didn't want to ruin the friendship. I got that kick drum heartbeat pounding, breath short of air.
What a perfect
During those 1 or 2 months after that conversation, I was like trying my best to distance myself from him. Once that break was almost over, he texts me and says, "Oh yeah, you know, I told you that I wanted to hang out with you in Diamond Bar. I'll drive over, like we'll hang out, we'll grab dinner." And I was like looking at the text like, what? What does this mean? I thought we just had a conversation and he told me he didn't like me. I was very confused. I sat on it, so I was like, why not? I'm curious. And so that led to our very first date. Right?
Yeah, so I drove over to Diamond Bar to hang out, but with the purpose of telling Jennifer how I felt. So I think it was an all-day thing. We ended up going to the park and hiking.
Yeah, we definitely did not watch a romantic movie. It was like The Fighter or something random like that.
So we were driving up to her place, and I was like, okay, like this is it. I got like maybe half a mile before I have to drop her off, so I gotta tell her, you know, do or die. So we parked right in front of her home, and then I just told her, hey, I like you. And then it was like a long pause afterwards, super awkward. And then you said, I like you too.
And more awkward pauses after.
And then I said, okay, so what do we do now? And we just kind of left it at that.
feeling, the kind I never had before. I thought this was quite the coincidence. Then you blushed.
I mean, God is sovereign in everything. If I had to choose someone for myself, like my future husband, when I was 20 years old, it would have not been someone like Josh. God, knowing me, knowing how foolish I am, how indecisive I am, how easily swayed I am and peer pressured, he provided someone for me who's like that solid, stable rock, and someone who would lead me so that I could grow more and more in love with Christ every day, and who would show that in his actions and in his words. And so he brought me Josh.
I think the biggest theme in our relationship has been just God's faithfulness and God's sovereignty over it all. And because he's been so faithful, it gives us confidence moving forward. Regardless of what happens in life, we can trust in him. And I think that's been the biggest thing for me in our relationship. And I'm super thankful for that. Yeah.
He's taken us through this far, so I'm excited to see what he'll do in the future.
I got the twinkles in my eyes. I got the butterflies.